Hi everyone, you're watching 5 AM Ramen. I'm your ramen loving host Frank, and my job is to transport you to the finest ramen shops in all of Japan. We are in the middle of a heavy-hitting Kyoto Ramen series. This is the 4th episode in the series, and we're continuing to eat lip-smacking ramen in Kyoto, Japan's ancient capital. We're starting this episode in Kyoto's glitzy Gion district. Gion is known for upscale restaurants and geishas. No geisha activities for us today though. First ramen shop is a fun one and a little hard to find. It's in a narrow alleyway. Once you see a line, you'll know you're at the right place. What's unique about Gion Duck Noodles, the name of this ramen shop, is that the menu is a bunch of icons instead of words. It's like ramen hieroglyphics. Order in line, wait in line, and eventually you'll find yourself in what is quite a small space. As you would expect, their ramen is duck-based, and it looks quite fancy, which is perhaps appropriate for the Gion district. Furthermore, the owner has a background in French cuisine. Immediately after this bowl of duck ramen, I dove into kaiseki, or a traditional Japanese course meal. Kyoto is well known for kaiseki. It's pretty looking and often changes with the seasons. The restaurant I went to for this kaiseki meal is called Nakamura Ro, and it's located on the grounds of Kyoto's famous Yasaka Shrine. It has over 400 years of history, and one of its dishes is just as old. I'm happy to let you know that you can actually book this place through us. Shoot us a message via the link below and you'll get a wonderful kaiseki experience in this private room at Nakamura Ro relative to availability. Anyways, it was a busy morning for me. Here's me recapping Gion Duck Noodles, super full and sleepy after that bowl of ramen and the kaiseki meal.
So it was a pretty busy day for me, not in terms of ramen. I did have a bowl, which I'm going to recap right now, but after that I was biking around a little bit after my business meeting, which was over kaiseki ryouri, so very filling. I had a lot of food there, and as such I'm only going to do 1 or 2 bowls this evening. But the bowl I did have was at a little duck ramen place. And the name, pretty straightforward, Gion Duck Noodles. That's what they serve. The noodles are of course not made from duck, but duck is the chief ingredient. The soup, it's kind of like Western in a way. It didn't really taste like ramen, at least the seasoning. It was like closer to a shio. And the noodles also were quite different, but very wheaty, the flavor. Like they're using high quality noodles, and you can tell it was something different. Not quite as far as going in a soba direction, but definitely flavor in them. And I think it matched well with that delicate duck fatty soup. But basically I got the Tokse ramen, or the ramen with all toppings, and that comes with an egg. That's the Tokse, or special part about it, and also 5 slices of duck. The duck slices were amazing, of course, and I actually got to choose. You had a choice of basically duck loin, breast, and sasami, which I forget what it is in English. But overall, yeah, 3 different choices. I decided to get 2 rolls, 2 momo, and 1 sasami. And those duck slices were definitely a highlight. Was a bit on the higher side because of the tokse, the 5 slices of duck that I got, but was worth it. And there was quite a lineup. I mean, this is a Sunday too, in the Gion neighborhood, so yeah, I had to wait a bit, but actually went pretty quickly. Tiny little space inside, quite dark, and a bit hard to find. But once you're inside, straightforward, and I think I heard one of the staff speaking in English to some of the customers that were not Japanese. This place, relatively new, and you can definitely add it to your Kyoto ramen list in the heart of Gion. Now, I'm gonna look at my ramen little map here. Little map, it's a massive map in Kyoto, and see what's next on the menu for tonight.
Night falls and I decide to hit up Kyoto ramen shop Kobushi. Kobushi has been in Michelin's BIG Gourmand guide several times. The ramen that perhaps got them recognized is fish and duck based. This is of course what I ordered. Here's me recapping this bowl with a similarly sleepy and mellow delivery. Haha.
Okay, back to the hotel, and here's a recap of Kobushi Ramen. This place is Michelin recommended, and as soon as you walk in, you know they are very happy to declare that in a loud way. Over by the ticket machine where you place your order, they've got all the Michelin stickers there from every year. They've been in the BIG Gourmand guide, and also like, yeah, there's a trophy in the corner. There's a little figurine of the Michelin man, so all about Michelin. I went with their signature lighter ramen that's basically a soup of duck from Kyoto and also nodoguro fish. Nodoguro is a fish that you don't see that much in ramen. There is nodoguro ramen at a Shinjuku ramen restaurant called Hayashida, and they do an amazing nodoguro ramen. Really prominent, the nodoguro flavors in their ramen. Here, I didn't get that much nodoguro. I was hoping personally for a little bit of more fishiness. That's just me. You did get the duck though. There was a syrupy goodness that made it tasty from the duck, but less fish. And it was a solid bowl, but maybe in that regard, I felt like it came out sort of quickly put together by the time it arrived. I was expecting something a little bit more, let's say. But that kind of light soup is something I very much enjoy. And the yuzu kosho there, the oil that you can put in, went beautifully with the soup. So that was a nice way to finish it. And some of the touches there, modern touches, like the red raw onions there, giving a little bit of even spiciness and zing in the soup. Yeah, some nice things happening there too. Now for the second bowl.
Our final ramen shop is Tsurumusha, and it's not exactly a light bowl that they serve, as you can probably tell. Well, this is also considering that I went for the big topping option. Their soup is chemical seasoning free and is a rich chicken-based one, often what you'll find in Kyoto. Here's my recap of this big bowl.
The next ramen shop I visited was Tsurumusha. And this shop, I liked it. It was simple, but their chicken, bone, and vegetable soup, it was that perfect in between, I think, between being a lighter chicken soup and a really rich tori paitan. It was still tori paitan. It had enough richness, but just enough. That was my jam, basically. I enjoyed it. It was simple, no frills. Simple, like not saying the broth was simple to prepare, but it's just like, no, this is tori paitan and a gentler one with the vegetables also in the broth. Didn't hit you like a ton of bricks like some tori paitan can when they're so thick and rich. Good quality memma. And I decided, was I gonna do the chashu men or not? I went with the chashu men. Got the beautiful floral pattern of pork there on top of the bowl, but the slices are so thin that it's really not as challenging as it looks to finish. And when I arrived, I had the place to myself. The staff were also very friendly, or I should say more than friendly, they were very polite, and I always appreciate that. Yeah, medium thick noodles that really soaked up the soup, and overall a solid bowl, contrasting with maybe some of these really highly regarded places, Michelin, Tabelog, or otherwise. They weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. They're like, we're doing tori paitan our way, and I like that. And it's just very much was a comforting bowl.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. In the next episode, we're grabbing more Kyoto rich chicken ramen. When in Rome, right? But we're also visiting a ramen shop that has a beautiful wooden interior, like you're in an old Japanese home. I hope to see you in the next episode.